So what's up, my senors and senoritas? This is your boy Bo Reason from VoLife with another episode of Thoughts of a Blerd podcast. And today we're just chilling out. I am very sporadic with these podcasts because I was upstairs exercising, and this thought has been in my mind lately. As far as like, I wanted to make a video to give people motivation to not give up on their dreams. I don't know why. It's been on my mind, especially since I made that one motivational video about setting goals. Because most of the time it's like I'm not just, talking to myself or just spitting out stuff that pops in my mind, but I always wanted to give back to other people. And right now the best thing I can give people is motivation from stuff that I've been through. And just giving people the motivation, like pretty much like to keep going, because when I'm on YouTube and I'm watching videos like that, I always feel like, man, I can chime in on this. I have, sometimes I don't know what it is. Like, I just get this feeling like I have all this wisdom that's been gained throughout life, because I've been through a lot, and I'm sure many people have, but it's just something in me just like, when a situation happens, it's like, man, I can really turn this to a lesson. I can really tell somebody else about that and let them gain from it instead of having to learn the hard way like I have. So, that's kind of like how I've been feeling. Like, as far as like the setting the goals, that just came sporadically because I was already shooting another video, and I was rambling. And I'm like, man, this can just be a whole nother thing by itself. So when I thought about like not giving up, because I've seen people give up on their dreams. I've been there to where I've given up on a lot of things, and I'm like, what can I really say to help people? Because I really want people to find some kind of meaning from this channel, not just entertainment. Like, let's say for instance, when I was younger, I was really deep, like I still am. I was really deep into music, but when I say really deep into it, like, music was the only thing I used to do. Like, I wasn't doing YouTube at the moment. Like, I had a YouTube page for music, but I wasn't doing what I'm doing now. All my energy was being put towards, music, working kids, but that was the only endeavor that was on my mind. And when I got my divorce from, my first wife, I was so like distraught that I just gave up on music. And I look back sometimes and I just really, really wish, like, everything happens for a reason. But if I can change one thing about that situation, I really wish I didn't stop. Like, I just completely just gave up. I mean, I was doing shows for people. I was traveling. I've been to Brooklyn to do a performance. I met a lot of people from across the world that were in hip hop. Just simple stuff like that. I feel like I just took for granted as far as like the work that I was putting in. I was constantly writing, um, perfecting my craft, and all that just came to a halt once I got, my divorce. Which, we all go through things, but it's good to walk away for a second, because you can't just do everything full steam ahead. Um, just like, an analogy is just like life, like seasons. Like, you're gonna have your winters, you're gonna have your falls, but you gotta spring up for the summer. And I didn't do that, and I really wish that I had kept going, because I feel like who knows where I could have been. Of course, everything happens for a reason, and God will put whatever in your life, and not you or anybody else can take that away from what God has planned for you. But at the same time, I feel like whatever you put into the universe will happen. Who knows, where that could have went. But this isn't about that. The whole point of that story is just like, we all have like these dreams, and life continues to happen. Life is gonna kick you in the balls. Life is gonna kick you down, and whether we give up or not, those things are still gonna happen, and life is still gonna happen. So you have to like pull like from within to like just keep going. And I had to learn that the hard way from my music, and I continue to do music. I fell out of it a couple times, and still teetering in my head, because like me personally, I have so many other things going on in my mind as far as the things that I want to do. But when I started YouTube, I made a promise, like a big promise to myself, like, no matter what, I'm not gonna stop like I did when I stopped doing music. And if you go back and look at, let's say, one of my earlier videos, I want to say like maybe around a cruise or a little bit before that, I have been like so consistent for like the last like 2 years, pretty much the whole time I've been on YouTube, pretty much since I made that promise to myself, because I knew that things don't happen just like that. And I think that's where a lot of people misconstrue themselves, like as far as their expectations when it comes to anything, YouTube, music, whatever you're working towards, your goals, relationships. Everything's not just gonna happen overnight. And I feel like one thing I've learned lately, as far as like YouTube, that I'm really starting to see as far as like my goals and everything that you put into the universe are seeds. Like these YouTube videos, every YouTube video you put out is a seed. You're not gonna get, unless you're already where you want to be at, or you're just, you just got it like that. But us small YouTubers or content creators, we plant these seeds that are going to be seen like later on. That's why people are always told to make timeless videos. Like I love to vlog around Detroit. I don't want to just make content that just for the now, just for the, what's trending. Like I do sometimes, but that's just my mind thinking like, okay, I got to get this ball rolling, which is nothing wrong with that. But it comes a time where you have to think like, okay, I'm going to plant these seeds for these videos to be seen later on too. Something that's gradually going to grow. Like a video like this, like it's not going to pop up and just have 100 views just off top the next day, or even the next week, like or 1,000 views or whatever you're looking for. These are like seeds that you plant into the universe to where they grow gradually, and the right people are going to find them. And that's another thing I had to learn about my music, is that my songs were seeds to be planted. Like I had this one song, and this is so weird. It was just like a random song. I knew it was a pretty decent song, but most people like didn't like the chorus or whatever. I didn't really think much of it, but I want to say about a couple years later, a lot of people were saying like that's like my best song ever. They just loved it. People from the UK were talking about this song, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, I'm still a small musician, but like stuff like that, it just means a lot. Like, especially when you're not looking for. I mean, of course, I want to be. Hey, put me on a magazine. Give me $1 million, all of that. But at the same time, it's like I keep it real with myself. Is like everything's not just gonna happen overnight. And I think that's one thing that a lot of people have to realize. And then another thing is just faith. Whatever you believe in, the universe, God, Allah, Yahweh, like all that. It comes a time to where you have to put on your big girl panties, your big boy pants, and just say, look, it's gonna be hard, but I'm gonna ride this out because I have faith. Like when it comes to YouTube, of course, I have days where I'm like, what the heck am I doing? I put all this work in for a video. Video gets like what, 20 views. I've been doing this for 2 years. I've seen people like 6 months crack like 1,000 views. I mean, 1,000 views in a video, or 1,000 subscribers, 6 months to a year, or double the amount or whatever, like in the same amount of time is what I'm trying to say. And I get to the point where, yeah, I want to give up, but it's just like once I made that promise to myself, and you have to look back and think about like faith, and then everything is also a journey. The universe or God, whatever you believe in, will put you in certain situations to test you. If this is what you really want, like, music, if you want to be an actor, anything, going to school, you're going to be tested, because if you fall over the small stuff, what's going to happen to where you actually get what you want and then the big stuff actually comes? Like those are the real tests. Like us gaining and completing our goals, that's not the end. um and then people, like, you don't realize, like, when you're planting your seeds, you're gonna grow these tall trees, and somebody comes down and chop down your tree or chop at it. You giving up, you might as well just push the tree down yourself. And I think that's I used to do that. Sometimes I'm human too, but I'm only putting this in this perspective of, just trying to give people motivation. So I don't want anybody to take it the wrong way. But that's just pretty much what it is. It's like sometimes we are our own worst enemy in situations like that. Just like giving up and not knowing like where it's gonna take us if you don't. Like, look, I've had times where I wanted to walk away from YouTube. Like I said, I've been doing this for so long. I'm just now about to get 500 subscribers, but I'm very thankful in a long sense of the thing, and it's something I have to like keep telling myself. And I'm looking back at my old videos, seeing where I came from. It's like, okay, well, I can see why I don't have what I want now, because I'm looking at my old videos like, oh geez, this is all a learning experience. I'm still learning. I know my videos now, like a lot of people tell me, oh, your editing is so good, but it's, to me, it's like I still feel like it's so much more for me to learn, to do, and to be better at, you know, thumbnails, titles, like engagement, like just like how I hold myself on social media, getting my social media better. And if it's in a sense of music, like if you look back at your old music, and you have to like be real with yourself. Is this good? Was this as good as I thought it was? Sometimes you gotta make something, let it sit for a second, and then look back. Like most of my videos that I do now, I don't quite, I might look at them when I'm done, but I don't really like hinge on them, because I know I'm gonna be in a sense of being biased. I'm gonna think like, oh, this is just the best thing ever. So I have to keep myself humble and not really, like, I'm thankful for all of the compliments that I get. But at the same time, like, I think I learned this from Jimi Hendrix, the rock star. Like, he didn't want people to tell him when he did a good job, or when he was playing well, or when he had a good song, because it would kind of mess up his groove, to where I think that has to do with your ego. And I have the same thing. Like, I've made like tons of songs. Like, I've made songs, like, I'm 34. I've been making music since 18. When I was like 18, 19, I used to think like, oh my God, this is just the best thing ever. That's my ego speaking. And for the fact that I didn't think that my shit didn't stink. Like, I've made terrible songs. I've made terrible YouTube videos. Like, it's some of them I would never watch again. But that's just a point of growing and realizing that, okay, I'm not the best right now, or I'm not perfect right now, but in the long run, if I keep at it, if I don't give up, then I will be. I will be at least better. Like, of course, no, perfect is not achievable. But when you go back to setting your goals of just getting better at your craft, and once you give up, like, you're just chopping that down. And sometimes, yeah, like I said, we have to walk away, regain ourselves, let me rethink, and that's what's needed as well. But just don't give up. Like, you're doing yourself the worst favor ever of giving up on anything you want to do. Like what they say, Colonel Sanders made KFC in his 70s. 2 Chainz didn't get famous till he was like in his 40s. And just imagine if like those people would have gave up. We wouldn't have 2 Chainz. We wouldn't have finger looking KFC. That's all I'm saying. It's like, just don't give up. Like, do the universe, do the world a favor. Like, you were blessed with these gifts, blessed with these dreams to achieve them. And even if it doesn't happen overnight, doesn't mean that whatever you want to come to fruition won't in the long run. But until you don't give up, keep your mind on that, keep your goals steady and work towards them. Look back and say, oh my God, I messed up here. What can I do better? Then you can achieve whatever you want. Like, but just like the whole big thing about that, the easiest thing you can do is give up. So why make it easy on yourself? You're going to look back on your deathbed. You're going to look back when you get old, when you can't do the things no more. And you're going to be looking like, wow, I just feel like crap because I just gave up. Like, you're not even giving the universe a chance to work with you. Like, when it comes to music, or like I love to write, let's say like, say for instance, this is just hypothetically speaking, like if I'm working towards like my music, if God has something else planned for me, then that's okay too. We can still do what we love, and eventually the universe will put you towards whatever it has planned for you. That's what I'm really trying to get at. Like, so even if you feel like, oh, this isn't really working out for me, but that doesn't mean give up. My camera's about to die and I talked quite a bit already. So hope I got something through to you guys. I'm gonna end this here, positive vibes, all that good stuff. And remember to stay positive, stay happy, and stay woke. And on that note, my lovely, healthy people, adios and peace. Remember, don't give up on your dreams.